Hi, I'm Martin Felsen. Welcome to City Design, the channel where we explore how we shape cities and how cities shape us. Today's episode is a top 10 list of transportation systems shaping cities in 2025. Transportation systems are more than concrete and asphalt. A roadway or subway is a public institution, built for everyone, funded by all of us, and managed in the public's interest. When we use these systems, we're not just moving around the city, we're engaging with a civic network that connects communities and reflects our shared priorities. At a time when many public institutions are either underfunded or distrusted, roads remain an exception. Highways and streets are public goods that nearly everyone agrees to support and share. Each of the transportation systems on my list raises a question. What are we willing to invest in to shape our future cities together? Let's begin with an idea affecting all of us. Marchetti's constant, the average time people spend commuting each day. From ancient Rome to today's megacities, people tolerate commutes of about 30 minutes each way. As transportation speeds up, cities spread out. At first, people lived close to work, within walking distance. Then came streetcars, trains, and later subways, which let people settle further from the city core. Cars and expressways pushed the boundaries even further. Each new technology expanded the city, but commute times stayed about the same. This shaped land values too. As cities spread, new land opened up and housing costs dropped, at least for a while. For over a century, rapid transportation innovations fueled city growth. But today, those gains are leveling off, which is why the next wave of innovations will matter more than ever. One of those possible innovations, and second on my list, is the Tensor robocar. It's still a concept, but it combines trends already in motion. Like today's autonomous vehicle taxis, the robocar drives itself, but unlike them, it can be privately owned while also earning money for its owner. Imagine your car giving rides while you're at work, or selling energy back to the grid when demand spikes. Today, cars sit idle 96% of the time. A robocar turns that downtime into value, sharing the costs of car ownership with people who'd rather not buy a car at all. Autonomous vehicles also promise wider benefits: fewer crashes, less congestion, and lower fuel use through platooning, cars traveling close together in coordinated packs. And here's the most interesting possibility. Robocars can park themselves, even outside the city. Imagine the urban spaces we could reclaim if streets and even parking lots were freed from cars and opened back up to people. If that vision becomes reality, the next question is, what do we do with all that freed up space? Which brings us to our third system: Amsterdam's remarkable investment in bike infrastructure. Let's imagine giving the freed up space for autonomous vehicles to micromobility, e-bikes, e-scooters, and other small, affordable ways to travel. These won't replace cars for every trip. Suburban commutes, school drop-offs, and groceries still need bigger vehicles. But for many daily journeys, micromobility is faster, cheaper, and cleaner. In Chicago, I ride an e-scooter year-round. It's convenient, it's fun. But what cities like mine are missing are safe, sheltered places to store and charge small electric vehicles. Amsterdam has built exactly that. At the central train station, a new underwater bike garage holds 7,000 bicycles, right in the middle of the city. And it's more than storage. It's a mobility hub, linked to the new metro station and a tram stop that connects the entire city. And it's affordable. The first 24 hours are free, then about $1 per day. Double-decker racks and gas spring lifts make it easy to store bikes on 2 levels, doubling capacity without doubling space. This is what smart public investment looks like. Infrastructure that makes micromobility practical, reliable, and seamlessly part of the urban network. Next, let's look at another transportation institution designed for everyone and managed in the public's interest. In Curitiba, Brazil, the city transformed the bus into something closer to a subway. The tube stations are minimalist, glass and steel cylinders that speed up boarding and make buses feel dignified and efficient. The idea is simple. Pay before you enter, then step directly from the platform onto the bus. No extra steps, no delays. The design saves time, removes the stigma often tied to buses, and makes bus travel feel like an essential part of city life. These stations aren't just transit stops, they're civic landmarks. Their openness and modern design communicate reliability and trust. They remind everyone that the city values mobility as a shared investment. System number 5 takes daily transit into the sky. In 2004, Medellin, Colombia became the first city to add gondolas to its transit network. The system links hillside neighborhoods directly to the city center, cutting commute times and bridging deep social divides. Other cities followed. In La Paz, Bolivia, the network called My Cable Car now has 10 lines and 26 stations, connecting La Paz with El Alto across the 1,300-foot elevation change. In Mexico City, the cable bus helps residents move across one of the world's largest, most sprawling metropolises. For about 50 cents, riders cut commute time in half, gliding above highways that shattered the 30-minute Marchetti constant. What makes gondolas so powerful is their efficiency. They use airspace instead of real estate. Their stations are compact and easy to build near metro stops. The system is electric, quiet, and relatively inexpensive compared to railways, tunnels, or bridges. And because the cars never stop moving, people keep flowing through the city. Gondolas don't replace other transit modes, but they're an ideal gap filler, stitching together cities where geography or density makes other infrastructure too costly. But as gondolas are soaring across the globe, the US is still grounded, waiting for a transportation dream that's been in the works for decades: high-speed rail. In 1965, President Lyndon Johnson signed a law to kickstart American high-speed rail. 60 years later, I still can't board a high-speed train from Chicago to anywhere. Meanwhile, in other countries, it's a totally different story. At the start of the 21st century, China had essentially zero high-speed lines. Today, it has over 23,000 miles of track, most of it built since 2008. The network links every major city cluster. Their stations are enormous, modern, and seamlessly integrated with other forms of transportation. And unlike remote airports, high-speed rail stations are located right in the middle of cities. The system isn't just fast and reliable, it's reshaping how people travel. It's even boosting electric car adoption by reducing range anxiety for long trips. Today, more than 70% of Chinese cities with over 500,000 people are connected to high-speed rail. And rail doesn't stop at China's borders. Expansion continues into neighboring countries through the Belt and Road Initiative. Wherever it's built, high-speed rail earns public trust. It's proof that when we invest together in mobility, the payoff is enormous. But not all mobility is massive or centralized. Some of our newest systems are tiny, local, and a little surprising. Number 7 are delivery robots. These small, battery-powered vehicles navigate sidewalks and streets, delivering packages from local shops straight to their customers. You can track them on an app, then unlock them to grab your stuff. Some even follow humans like little emotional support robots, carrying our cargo as they go. The first time I saw Coco, a delivery robot, it looked so timid, cautiously rolling down the sidewalk, waiting nervously at intersections, like a duckling trying to cross traffic. I couldn't believe how much sympathy I felt for what's basically a cooler on wheels. But it was determined, it was cute, and it was going to get the job done. Urban robots signal a shift. Mobility isn't just moving people anymore. It's about moving everything efficiently, conveniently, and yes, sometimes adorably. And speaking of moving things, our next system moves people fast. Number 8, flying cars. Will they ever officially arrive? Maybe sooner than we think. Some prototypes already look like compact, human-sized drones. From a technical perspective, it may not be long before at least a few start appearing in the skies. My optimism comes from the pace of innovations in flight. For example, it took only 6 years to go from testing the Raptor 1 rocket engine to deploying the Raptor 3. It's pretty easy to see the advancements. This is the speed of today's iterative development. When flying cars do appear, they'll push us to adapt the 9th system on my list, one that's already reshaping how we move and live: telecommuting. Telecommuting is reshaping urban boundaries. It's already uncoupled everyday work from the everyday commute. Many telecommuters still choose to live in cities for family, culture, and social life. So there's also an opportunity here. Remote work can encourage us to build more complete neighborhoods, places where daily needs are closer to home, even without a commute. Which brings us to the final item on my list. The last system is also the oldest: walking. Despite all our technologies, walking is still the simplest way to cut our dependence on costly cars and the expensive infrastructure that comes with them. For well over a century, we engineered cities for speed. We pushed them outward to keep housing affordable. But today, there's no new technological savior on the horizon. Nothing to guarantee cheap housing or endless infrastructure. To me, that means our best option is to build inward rather than outward, to re-inhabit the compact city once defined by walking distances. And yes, I left out many ways AI is transforming mobility and city life. That's coming soon in another episode on smart cities. So let me wrap up with this. Every transportation system we design changes the shape of our cities. But in the end, no single technology will save us. The future of mobility will be a mix of systems, some massive, some tiny, and some as timeless as walking itself. Thanks for watching City Design. If you're enjoying these episodes, please like, share, and subscribe. See you next time as we continue to explore how we shape cities and how cities shape us.